On today's show,
we break down the All-Star rosters and debate who has the better squad, Team LeBron or Team Stephen.
in Worst of the Week, Dennis Smith Jr. shares his first memory of dirt.
And Andrew Wiggins yaks twice on Pirtle in this week's Top 10 Plays.
It's Friday, January 26th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to The Starters, presented by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Whether you're joining us live right now on NBA TV or watching later on YouTube, we're very, very happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tass Mellis.
Happy Friday, everybody.
To his right, it's the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lele.
Lily, and last, certainly not least, over yonder, joining us in Casual Friday, it's the bearded one, Trey Kirby. Hey, yo! TK, what's poppin'?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at hashtag the starters. And guys, when we were recording our podcast, The Drop, earlier today, the topic of festivals came up, and that's when we birthed the idea of Starters Fest. We're starting early, morning bar 3. Gotta kick it off early.
I like this.
After that, Photoshop tutorial from the Photoshop boys. We break for lunch at the Bamboo Pool, catered by the Bamboo boys. All we have is fruit plates and waters. And then after that, we're closing things down with the performance. JD on drums, Matt playing guitar, Tass on recorder, us three singing terrible songs. Should be a great time with crazy attendance, but it brings us to today's question. What else is going to happen at Starters Fest? Because that's not going to fill the whole day. We did come up with one more idea while we were up in the office today. We're having a C-ball contest.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly, we are experts, so we will be judging all of the attendees, and then maybe we'll put on an exhibition at the end. I don't know. But we want to hear from you, so let us know on Twitter what else is going to happen at Starters Fest. Send us your best ideas, and maybe we can make this thing a reality.
All right. get
Maybe
your
not,
tweets
though.
in. No, you don't think so?
Yeah, maybe
You
so.
don't think anyone would show up to Starters Fest?
Yeah, oh yeah, they would. They would. I don't know why, but they would. Guaranteed. Bring your suits, only if it's a Friday.
Fun Friday show tonight. Tass is going to award the dishonor for Worst of the Week. We got your best top 10 in sports. We got Lee's very solid play. But we start with a little what you got. If you're new to the show, we're going to debate some questions that Trey's going to throw at us, ultimately pick an answer, but you got to be careful. There's only one correct response, and that's whatever TK says it is.
No diggity, no doubt. Skeets, yesterday, LeBron and Steph dialed into a conference call to draft the All-Star team, and last night we got to peep those rosters. You see them here. Team LeBron, Kyrie, Anthony Davis, Durant, Cousins, Aldridge, Beal, Love, Oladipo, Porzingis, Wall, and Westbrook, while Team Stephen has Harden, DeRozan, Giannis, Embiid, Butler, Draymond Green, Al Horford, Lillard, Lowry, Thompson, and Catmandu. Guys, you already know what it is. Which team you rolling with, Team LeBron or Team Stephen? What you got?
Here we go. What do you
It's
got?
Team LeBron.
Is it?
Just like the internet said after the draft.
Oh, the internet's never been wrong.
Well, no, I agree with them. I go Team LeBron. Got the best player available. Got two guys who start every night together, are starting on his team as well, in the New Orleans Pelicans,
Okay.
Davis and Cousins. And they got Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, the perfect guy to come
That's
off
big.
the
That's
bench.
huge.
He doesn't care about your all-star game apathy. He's going to come and rock the house.
Is he going to want to play for LeBron?
He
This
doesn't
is
care.
Russell
This is
Westbrook.
basketball. He plays hard every night. He's the perfect all-star game foil.
I think it's actually Team Stephen. They got the best
What?
shooters in the world that
little
the
bit,
game's
yeah.
ever seen, Steph and Clay. And they've actually got two guys who thrive on playing defense in Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is going to go out there and try to stop guys, and you know Draymond is also playing that way. So
Have you ever watched an All-Star game?
yeah, this is a
not a lot
different
of
one.
defense, Dad.
This is the one that's actually competitive. Remember, everything's changed now. So
Yeah, totally. Fourth quarter. I do think the fourth quarter will come down to guys playing hard. It'll be
defense.
A little, yeah.
So
the
there
fourth
you
quarter.
go. It's
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of talk about Steph's guys shooting extremely well. Yeah, they got a lot of shooters, but a lot of those guys come off the bench. You know, they're starting Giannis, they're starting Embiid.
Look at the
Look at
closers
the
though
shooters.
here. We've got James
But-
Harden can close, Damian Lillard can close.
Okay,
I
everybody's
mean,
got closers.
Look,
The All-Star
teams
game.
are stacked. Here's three things we do know about this draft. Obviously, it wasn't televised, and hopefully we get to that. I think we're taking that step for
Yeah,
next season.
lock it in.
But we know three things, right? We know Kevin Durant did go first. I mean, that's all but confirmed. LeBron
Right.
took him first. We also know at some point, LeBron had to pick Kyrie. We don't know where, but he had to pick from the starters. So at some point, even if it came down to the final two, let's say it was Kyrie and DeRozan, LeBron took Kyrie Irving. So that's sort of a fun little story there. We didn't know if he would try and snub him. And we also know, you said it, Tass, that Curry, who had the first pick as the reserves, didn't take Russell Westbrook. So in theory, probably took one of his Warriors, be it a
100%.
Clay
Yeah,
or a
because
Draymond.
he saw
LeBron
Durant
had Durant
already. Yeah, so he's like, you're not taking all my guys. I think he probably took Clay.
Yeah, look, I do think the starting lineup for LeBron is like the Monstars. I mean, it's just monsters.
Your
and you
top
got Kyrie.
four there, they're
Yeah.
big, and then you got Kyrie dancing and the best player available in Kevin Durant.
Yeah, and then Westbrook, probably the best player coming off the bench. I do agree with that, but Lee's got a good point. Curry's team does have 5 of the top 10 3-point leaders in terms of made. I mean, we're talking Curry, Harden, Clay, Lowry, and Lillard. They got D'Antoni very likely as their coach. They're probably going to jack up 100 threes in this game. So maybe just 3 outweighs 2 here is all I'm getting at when we get into this game. But I can't wait. I think, honestly, so far this is sort of working.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's
We're
There's a
talking
little more
about it.
buzz around him.
There's a lot
for
more
sure.
buzz. Usually
Yeah.
these teams are announced, and the biggest thing we do is go, well, that guy was snubbed, that guy was stubbed, and then we forget about it. We don't even remember it on the Sunday when they do the game.
Yeah.
At least everyone's sort of like getting into it. What team is better? Who screwed up here in terms of picks?
Lillard
It's
and
fun.
Westbrook are on the different teams as well.
Yeah.
You know, there's a little bit of beef there between those two.
And the fact that they're talking it up, LeBron saying, we are going to work
Yeah.
hard, we are going to play D, I think they have to back it up a little bit. And they're not going to back it up from opening tip. I highly doubt that.
Yeah.
But I think they can go
Yeah, I
back
mean,
to
we-
80s, 90s
yeah.
style where they play the fourth quarter extremely hard.
We want to see some flair. We want to see them have some fun, but we just don't want to see guys lying on the ground while another guy windmills over the top of him. That's not what we
And we
want.
want to see the draft. And the good
Yes.
thing is LeBron and Steph
We're both
talking about
for
it
it.
yesterday. Hashtag televised the draft.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen,
It's
right?
got to happen. It has to happen. All right, Trey, what's the answer to this?
Well, both of you Team Steffens went Team Steffens, so both us Team LeBrons. We're going Team LeBron.
yeah.
They're squashing that beef. So many ex-teammates together. I love it. We got to show the kids you can squash your beefs. Anyways, we knew that Kyrie Irving and the Cavs divorce was a messy one, but thanks to Cleveland.com's Joe Varden, we're getting some strange details on how it went down, with Kyrie allegedly threatening to have knee surgery last summer, thereby ensuring he'd miss this entire season if he wasn't traded. It's quite the claim, my friends.
Yeah.
But do you believe it or nah? What you got?
Nah.
No, I don't.
Yeah, and,
I agree.
Kyrie has come out today. He denies it. That was obviously going to happen. But I just don't know what to believe with this Cavs team anymore, right? I mean, they had their team meeting. When it first broke, it was, everybody's on Kevin Love. Then suddenly it switched to Isaiah Thomas, so you didn't really know what to believe. We've heard conflicting reports with LeBron when Kyrie was traded, whether he was on board with that idea or he was against it. Stephen A. Smith just went on TV, said Dan Gilbert wants to sell the franchise. No, I don't know what to believe
Yeah,
when it comes to the Cavs, so I don't believe this really.
I agree too. And it goes back to Kyrie's trade demand, which reportedly they had offered him in a trade before that. That came out from Jackie McMullen earlier this year. I totally agree. What can you believe that's coming out of that locker room? It almost seems premeditated, what they want to allow. It almost seems like,
maybe.
hey, this is what we want to let out in the media. And yet somehow this was a report.
Yeah.
But you can't buy it, right?
Players want to play. They often try to avoid surgery if they can, just to get out there and play. And you think as well about it from a contractual standpoint. A lot of players have incentives to make All NBA, All Star games, certain minimums
Right.
to make these requirements
He's a
in their
Nike
contract.
athlete,
exactly.
too.
Like,
Obviously wants to build
it
his
could have
brand,
cost
yeah.
him millions of dollars
Yeah.
potentially if he did sit out. And I just think it's a very weak way to go to a franchise and say, all right, well, I'll just have knee surgery and I won't play for a year. I don't think that puts you in
Well,
good faith at all with anybody.
True, but it would be his only play. Let's say, devil's advocate here, let's say Kyrie did want to get out of Cleveland. Things had happened, things were said, they were never going to be able to salvage that relationship. This would really be Kyrie and his agent's really only move. Like, it's a bit of a power move, again, if it was true, because
Yeah.
he was locked under contract. He would be contractually obligated to play for the Cavs if he was healthy. And so if you say, well, you know what? I had this injury back in 2015 on my kneecap. I need some more minor surgery to make it feel better, to reduce the pain. Then I'm just going to go to do this.
I don't think
that's
so.
Diabolical.
I disagree because
Why?
teams want to trade for healthy players.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be a guy who's sitting out.
No,
Yeah,
Kyrie,
at the end of the day-
Kyrie looks pretty healthy. So even if he is,
Yeah.
But if
playing
he
with
had
pain-
surgery or he sat out, is
Yeah.
what I mean. You want to play. You want to be able to go to
No,
a team.
I do
You-
agree. I
you-
do agree.
You want to be able. You want to go somewhere.
I'm just saying they didn't really have any other moves. Again, if they really wanted to force the Cavs' hand to try and get traded.
But then what happens
that
if the
would
Cavs called his bluff and say, all right, we'll do it
Yeah,
then.
exactly.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, no, but they
yeah,
did it,
I just,
so it worked.
Yeah, no,
if it's true.
I agree with what you're saying earlier.
Yeah.
There's so much rumor and speculation, particularly around the Cavs now. You just don't really know what to believe. And when Kyrie was asked about it today, there was no sort of dodging the question or evading it. He was just like, no, I don't know what.
Right, and this is a guy that's been asked multiple times about whether or not he truly believes the Earth is flat,
Yeah.
and he always tends to have a little bit fun with it. This one
Exactly,
he shut
yeah.
down right away. Okay,
Yeah.
Trey, we say nah.
They're controlling the media. They're controlling us.
You say, what do you say?
I agree with you guys.
Okay.
Nah, it's like 3LW said, players want to play, ballers want to ball. Kyrie's not giving up a season of his prime just to prove a point, guys.
Okay.
A few teams debuted their city jerseys last night,
Yep.
including the Thunder, who came out in their gray, swoopy, faded uniform. The Kings went baby blue on the road in Miami, looking suave, while the Heat looked ravishing in their Miami Vice uniforms, and the Warriors honored Chinese culture with their The Bay jerseys. But guys, which jersey is hottest? The Thunder, Kings, Heat, or Warriors? What you got?
The Heat are the winner. We know it. They're the best.
They
They're
might
great.
they might be the best alternate jerseys in sports.
I'm going to counter that though and say
Why?
I think they look better in their PR shoot than they actually did out on the court. They didn't quite.
You didn't
pop,
love them as much?
They didn't quite pop to me on the court because it was such a primarily white jersey there.
So you're saying when they were leaking all the videos
Yeah.
and the images, and it was like they're in front of the black screen there, and they would just pop more. And like
Yeah, I mean they
lights,
could have. I thought perhaps gone with a more neon look for the actual uniform and then lightened up on the
You
the
want
wording. and
lights
stuff.
in them or something?
Well, you know, I just thought it was a white with then the neon writing. You know what I mean? I thought
The editing was great in that video.
Yeah,
I agree.
the video was
The
fantastic.
Photoshop boys may have done some work. The colors were a poppin'.
Yeah.
But they still look cool out on
they
the floor.
look
And you booed the heck out of OKC.
Those OKC
No, they're
jerseys
cool.
are garbage.
They're not.
They're hot garbage.
I wish,
I'm sorry.
What's wrong with them?
They look.
I think it's the swoops.
I wish they didn't go to
No.
so light on the shorts.
Yeah, it's not
It doesn't
just
need to
the
go
swoops.
too far.
Gray.
That looks cool.
Gray
I think
does
that-
not work.
I don't mind these ones either. Actually, yeah.
It looked like they were fading away Back to the Future style when you were watching the game. Like, where are these guys disappearing to?
They're very
Who
unique.
changed
They're the
time?
only ones that look this way.
Outside of the Spurs, gray NBA jerseys,
Don't work.
they don't work. You want to talk about not popping?
Yeah.
They're just so blah. They're nothing. I hated those. I mean, I like
didn't
the
mind
other
them.
OKC ones that we saw earlier this year. The blue with the gradient and stuff like that. Much better than those.
Not everything can pop.
Come on.
Hey, you know what did pop? The Warriors ones did pop.
Yeah, they were very nice.
They were beautiful.
Yeah.
I thought they were really, really nice.
I thought it was weird that the Kings unveiled their city jerseys
on the road.
On the road, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
About
these were really. The
They're nice.
Warriors always get their uniforms right though.
Do you think those are better than the town jerseys we saw that are sort of a dark gray, like, black?
They
and
pop more.
Yeah, they definitely do pop. There's been a lot of popping going on today.
Yeah,
but-
Pop talk.
What are teams just going to wear? Bright blues and bright pants?
Yeah, I mean the Kings. I like them. I just found it very weird they did it on the road. I didn't get that at all.
No, especially-
Numbers are too wide.
Especially when the other team has made such a big deal out of their jerseys.
yeah.
But,
I don't know. I
Cool.
love
They're cool.
the Miami ones because I like that they
But do you
totally
think-
went
No,
away.
what are those jerseys in the back? Oh, the Miami ones. They're nice.
No, I like that they went away from like their normal red and orange or whatever, and they went Miami Vice. I mean, late 80s, mid 80s. Looks awesome. All right, Trey, you are the fashion man here on the starters. What's the answer?
I'm gonna have to disagree with Lee. I think it's actually the Miami Heat. Shout out to Don Johnson. Lee, you remember when you were young? Don Johnson, very popular.
You're dressed like
yeah,
a guy
you look
from
like
Miami.
a-
Look how big his jacket is.
Yeah, it's a little roomy.
Get that from Crockett or Tubbs?
I think I actually got this out of the Kevin McHale closet. But,
Got a lot of room for pocket dogs in those sleeves.
this one pops, I tell you.
Sleeve dogs.
Lots more still to come on this Friday night edition of the starters. When we come back, Tass dishes the dishonor for worst of the week. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, welcome back to the show. It's Don Johnson at Miami Vice. You kind of look like him, but you
On the right,
hey,
Don Johnson. On the right, Don Johnson.
you really look like David Byrne of Talking Heads.
Yeah, look, it's definitely a little roomy. Yeah, you know how many times I've changed clothes today?
Qu'est-ce
about
que
10.
c'est?
That's not an excuse, man.
Nah, no, but you know.
Should have changed one more time.
Worst of the week goes to Leo's.
Well, don't look at me like I'm freaking Frankenstein.
Okay, moving on. It's the best sport in the world, but sometimes guys make mistakes. Time for worst of the week.
Ladies and gentlemen, the worst of the week.
Second runner-up, not Lee Ellis, it's Robin Lopez of the Chicago Bulls. Robin, you can't do this. You can't do this. You can't shove your hand under a man's undercarriage as you do here.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Right.
DeMarcus wants to have children and cousins.
Somebody.
Come on. It's not right.
Yeah. This always taints a player for me. I can never forget the undercarriage shot.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rob.
Was that a pun?
Hey man, I was gonna let it slide by if you did. Nothing gets by these days.
First runner-up, the refs for missing this call on an Oklahoma City Thunder game winner here. Paul George runs the old pick that's not a pick to take out Spencer Dinwiddie as he's trying to guard Russell Westbrook. I don't know if you guys agree with this one, because I don't want to get on the refs because, you missed calls, but this one was pretty blatant. Maybe it was because it was coming from the broadcast angle, this angle here, where it's really just a pick. You run that old flag football play.
Yeah,
hey, this is kind of a
pass
pick.
interference for sure.
Cass,
Exactly.
you are not helping the animosity between the players and the refs right now. Feels like every second worst of the week you're calling them out.
Hey, they have come up with an idea, a scheme to actually remedy that.
A 5-part program.
Yeah, it's a
Right,
5-part program.
We'll talk more about that in the future.
Yeah. All right. But worst of the week this week goes to Dennis Smith Jr., who revealed what he first thought of Dirk Nowitzki.
Earliest memory of Dirk, it was probably a year he was playing with Steve Nash. I kept hearing somebody named Dirt, like with a T, so I was like, why is this dude named Dirt in the league? And then I found out he was actually pretty good.
Dennis Smith Jr. thought Dirk Nowitzki's name was Dirt Nowitzki.
I thought his name was Dentist Smith.
That's
Boom.
See you later. See you, buddy. See you later, man. Have a good weekend. Hey, you had a good run.
Yeah, that was fun.
See you, buddy.
See you guys.
This wasn't planned.
Wow.
This wasn't
All right.
planned.
I mean, I guess we could have fake laughed a little bit at it,
No.
but it was pretty
No.
bad. So Dennis Smith Jr., you're just a runner-up. Trey Kirby gets the worst of the week. Top 10 plays when we come back.
The Starters is brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey, official partner of the NBA.
Someone threw this guy a lifesaver. He's drowning in this suit. And there he is, Lee Ellison, Frankenstein.
He's got nice broad shoulders, old Frank.
We're just burying you today in this suit. Okay, unbelievable.
You should bury that suit.
Let's get to the best top 10 in sports. We'll start at number 10. That makes sense. We actually have 2 plays. And we'll start with the Cavs. It's peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time.
Yeah, that's their old Miami Heat days.
Yeah, Wade's throwing it up to LeBron James.
Yeah.
Fast break action here from the Cavs. We got another one here at number 10. It's fire to ice. Might see this in the All-Star game
Oh, yeah.
on Team LeBron. Boogie Cousins throwing it up to Anthony Davis.
At number 9, Davis Bertans.
Yeah.
Getting Deontay Davis. Davis can throw down.
Yeah.
He's got some
sneaky hop.
athleticism.
Yep.
Watch Davis get out of the way here. No
Ooh,
thanks.
Duck, goose. At number 8, Kyle Kuzma with a beautiful behind-the-back pass to Larry Nance Jr.,
Nice spin here.
who flushes it home. Yeah. Oh, that's gorgeous. A little showtime there. Kuz to Larry. Nice dunk.
Well played.
At number 7, one of the best dunkers of all time, who just turned 41 today, on
Happy
one of the best dunkers of today, and Aaron Gordon sneaks it by him right there.
This man's 41 years old today.
Yeah.
Wow.
BC.
He's a little slower than he was in his prime.
Yeah, that's fine.
Break out the bike.
Rev it up. At number 6, Jeff Green with another huge dunk. I mean, this
He's got
guy
about
is gonna,
100 in his career.
Yeah, he's going to have an unbelievable highlight mix when it's all said and done. You're going to think Jeff Green was the greatest basketball player of all time.
At number 5, Spencer Dinwiddie. What a year. The game winner. Look how tough this shot is.
Oh, wow.
That last adjustment to get around Andre Drummond.
Oh, yeah. Otherwise, he's getting blocked there.
Yeah.
But he,
Gets
brings it
ish,
back.
and then, incredible. Game winner.
He's having a great year. At number 4, we got 2 beautiful blocks. First, Maxi Kleber. Sounds like a Bond villain.
Yeah.
Blocking Gortat there, who looks like a Bond villain. And then Dwight Howard says no to James Johnson on the baseline. Get out.
Nice.
Keeps it in play. Let's go.
At number 3, Andrew Wiggins posterizes the Raps Siakam Poeltl twice in one game.
Body to body.
Ooh.
And a little smacker.
Yeah.
How about one more time?
Like, what?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Shades of Giannis on Aaron Baines.
Yeah.
2 dunks in the same game.
At number 2, Jamal Murray just drops one on Devin Booker. Now this one was fantastic because earlier in the game, Booker was hitting threes and doing Jamal Murray's archery celebration.
Yeah.
So that's why Murray's super pumped there.
And at number 1, De'Aaron Fox, the old putback game winner.
Wow.
They're down 1. Shot goes up. De'Aaron Fox follows for the game winner. 3 seconds left.
Flies here.
It's a great angle.
slap in as well there at the end.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Wow.
No tech. That's cool.
Beautiful. Fox coming in at number 1. Starters top 10 plays. After the jump, Lely in his giant suit. Hand out a very solid play. You gonna be able to get your thumbs out of the sleeves there?
A little heavy.
Schroeder picks up his dribble, bounce to Bazemore, 6 seconds, 5, 4, Baze, got it! Kent Bazemore puts Atlanta in front.
Coming up later on the network at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Crunch time. Catch all the great endings from tonight's slate of NBA games. All right, we asked you, what happens at Starters Fest? We're thinking of throwing a Starters Festival. I don't know why, but we're throwing it out there on the Drop Podcast. You got a few of the best answers.
Yeah, some good ideas. This one comes from Tanish, who suggests a pocket dog eating contest. It's great. I'll bring the dogs in my pockets. Jim says, how about some of Lee's fortune telling? You in for that, Lee?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. And also, Eliteness says a wedgie contest where participants attempt to make as many wedgies as possible from 5 positions behind the 3-point arc. We'll count them. At this point, we'll count those wedgies.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
We might need
gotta
to
do
make the
this.
hoops a little sticky or something.
Yeah. Last night's pick'em results, everybody had OKC. Everybody was right because Westbrook thought he was picked last, and he was angry and went and hung up 46, helping them get the win. So, congrats everyone. Tonight, big game here. Woo! Trey, Tass, and myself, like the Blazers on the road. Lily will take the Mavs at home.
Come on, Dirt.
That's a big game there, as you see the record between Lee and Tass. Yeah, Dirt Nowitzki. All right, Lily, who gets the very solid play on?
We're going back out to Oklahoma City for a new category. It's the connect the dots play. Look at this, all 5 touch it, bounces around, nice finish. You know why? It's like a connect the dots puzzle. Remember when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Just draw it around like that,
Yeah.
and finish as well, and you know what it is?
Yeah.
You know what that is? Very solid play.
Look at this cuss.
Check the cuffs. You like it so far. Drop Podcast this morning. We had a blast. It's up wherever you listen to your podcast. We discussed the Cavs, which NBA player would win a Royal Rumble. And because the XFL is eventually going to return, Trey told us what he'd put on the back of his jersey.
Nickname I used to go by 4th or 5th grade, King of the Weenie Critters.
Wait, what?
A weenie critter at Plano Middle School back in the day was, you know, like a miniature corn dog. And me and my mom and sister, anytime it was going to be Weenie Critters Day, would have a jump on the bed party. Who's the king of the weenie critters? I'm the king of the weenie critters.
And our man Lee here looking like a little weenie in this jacket. What's that? That's from Big.
Oh, it is big.
Looking like a little kid in a blazer.
Ah, sweet.
Oh, no, that's more like it. Like a little baby drowning over there. All right, that's it for us. We'll see you on Monday, guys.
You gotta save for yours.
Race the weekend, people. You gotta wear this every Friday.